Hartford yet to get a positive result. Brendan Burke and the fellas think today should be the day.
Yeah, this the atmosphere is going to be great.
It's a beautiful day for the beautiful game at Trinity Health Stadium in the Insurance City as Hartford Athletic get set to host Birmingham Legion. Along with Jim O'Brien sitting in for Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. And Jim, 4 matches in, Hartford yet to get a positive result. Brendan Burke and the fellows think today should be the day.
Yeah, the atmosphere is going to be great for them, and the weather can't be any better. No excuses there, and they've just got to get out on the front foot and score that first goal.
And Birmingham Legion was in the same situation, 0-2-2, before they beat El Paso last week. Hartford hasn't played since 2 weeks ago when things did not go well against Loudoun United. In the 16th minute, Michi Ngalina, racing after a loose ball, pulled up lame. Hartford's star forward had to leave the game, and he will not be available for today. Then, in the 42nd minute, a seemingly harmless pass by Marlon Hairston, but he goes down, and the midfielder also will be out of the lineup today. Then Hartford self-destructed in the second half. In the 68th minute, Adrian Dispe with a league record 7th red card. Hartford played a man down, and then in stoppage time, the second yellow card of the match for Beverly Ngalina. Kind of an iffy call there, but Beverly Macangila, he too will be out of today's game as we take a look at who's out of the Hartford lineup for this afternoon. And they're without 4 regular starters. Dispe and Macangila will be back next week. They expect Ngalina to be back next week, but Marlon Hairston may not be back till the road trip to Charleston. As far as our ones to watch, Ronaldo Damas tied for 3rd in the league with 4 goals. He had a brace last week against El Paso. Dangerous in the air and in the box. Jim and I come back with the starting lineups and the opening kickoff next. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN+.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
For your small business, no detail is too small. We know this because we're the Hartford, with experience insuring millions of small businesses. So, with insurance off your mind, you can get to this. Nice haircut. Learn more at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
At Lux Bond & Green, we have been designing and crafting custom jewelry for decades. It's an art as much as a science, and really there's no room for error. It comes down to 100 little choices made by our own artists and experts who listen to you and create your perfect engagement ring by hand. Quality, value, and selection. Lux Bond & Green Jewelers throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC of Greater Hartford, the official fitness partner of Fitness Center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly is the leader in airport parking at Bradley International. Save 20% by pre-booking on lastfly.com. Last Fly is a proud supporter of Hartford Athletic. Time for the starting lineups for today's game. They are brought to you by Liberty Bank, and let's kick it off with the visitors from Birmingham Legion. This is pretty much the same lineup that they used last week in their win, although Moses Mensah replacing the former Rhode Island FC player Stephen Turnbull, who played well for them and is not even available for selection today. And as far as Hartford is concerned, some changes. Justin Ingram, who's on that 25-day contract, will get a start in the midfield. Samuel Carriega, who hasn't played since the opener, is in as well. And Kyle Edwards will work up front with Carriega and Mamadou Dieng. All right, let us get to Jim's keys to the game. And they are brought to you by the good folks by Hoffman. James?
Yeah, Birmingham needs to stay aggressive and build on that first win of the season. They need a good defensive effort today, and a clean sheet away from home would be a plus.
And as far as Hartford's concerned?
Hartford needs to score that first goal. They need to get the fans behind them. Looks like a good crowd here today with great weather. They need to stay disciplined. Red cards, suspensions are taking their toll, along with the injuries that go with it. 4 starters out today. They need to be disciplined today and stay off the cards. They also need to play the full 90-plus minutes. Giving up goals late in the second half has been a bugaboo, and they need to do a better job of that.
Our referee is Elvis Osmanovic. The assistants, Justin Lopez and Brian Canetis. Dean Bream is the 4th official, and we are underway. Hartford in the home green, trimmed in white. Birmingham in the gold with white trim. And you mentioned scoring first for Hartford. They have not scored first in a game this season. Sebastian Anderson, who handles all their long throw-ins, will take it equidistant from the 18. Hartford trying to get some size up front. Farrell with a flick. It's in, and it'll go out of bounds. This is a pretty good opportunity for Hartford there, and Hartford will get the first corner of the match only a minute in. So it'll be Anderson, the Sacramento native, who played last year with Switchbacks, has played every minute of the first 4 games. From the right of the veteran Matt Van Okel. Hartford trying to capitalize with an early advantage. And they're going to do it again. As you see in the history, Birmingham leads it 4 wins, 2 wins for Hartford, 2 draws. And they have split a pair of games. Hartford won here last year by a score of 1-0. So we'll have a do-over for Anderson. In swinger. Punched up in the air. A header and a save is made.
Good service into box.
Almost an opportunity for Kyle Edwards there. Boy, Van Okel could be drafted on Thursday in the NFL draft as a quarterback. That was a heck of a throw. Carriaga, one to watch for Hartford, number 10. Samuel played last year in Memphis. The Argentinian really will provide Hartford with a number 10, Jim, that they've just kind of been lacking in the first 4 games. Birmingham will be methodical, although they played much more aggressively last week in the first game for Eric Avila. Took over midweek when Tom Sohn was relieved of his duties as head coach. Tom Sohn had been the only head coach in the history of Legion, and that's had to be a difficult scenario, trying to come in, trying to put a few tweaks that you want to do and still get ready for a league match.
Yeah, that's a big blow for a team. You know, a long-standing coach and Coach Sohn and Coach Avila has got to rally the troops and get ready for a road game. Not easy.
Joe Farrell going up the far sideline. Looked like Marlon Edwards, or rather Kyle Edwards might have been offside there, but the ball went over the east touchline, so it'll be a throw-in. Number 6, Sam Mickelhatton, signed on April 4th. He's an Australian native, and he's starting his 2nd straight game.
As expected, Hartford's playing with a high line, with a high press.
Moses Mensah, the veteran, getting the start for Turnbull. There's the 16-year-old Ramiz Hamoda. He is starting for the 5th time today. 16 years old. What were you doing as a 16-year-old?
I was playing youth soccer on Long Island.
Not professionally. 2nd year for Hamoda with Legion. Here's Mensah. They will try to establish Pasher, Trejo, and Damas up front. That is a lethal threesome at the top. They try to lead Damas, but Jordan Scarlett, the captain, cuts it off. Hartford can't clear. Here's Pasher. Gets it to Enzo Martinez. He's got 7 goals in his illustrious career against Hartford. Mensah plays it wide. Here's Trejo. 1v1. Gets it back, puts it in front, and it sailed over the goal. Good job that time by Trejo to split the double team.
Yeah, nice bit of combination work at the top of the box there.
Got through Samuel Correga, and then Pasher airmailed it. So each team has had an opportunity so far here in the 5th minute of play. Trinity Health of New England is proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic. Always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, we see all of you. When your team is going through a stretch like Hartford's going with, not only are they not getting results, but they're not scoring. Last in the league in goals, last in the league in shots. What's the best way to turn that around?
You know, the energy's got to be there. They look like they have it thus far with the high press. I like what I see so far. I think they're going to really force the issue on the offensive side. Right here with the ball, the speed of play is important. Keep the ball moving, circulate it around. It looks good thus far.
Scarlett up to Edwards. Or rather, that's the birthday boy, Emmanuel Samadia, turning 24 today.
It looks like they're trying to get Samadia involved in the play very, very heavily on that right side, on that left side of the field.
Talked to Brendan Burke during the week. He said Samadia and Anderson are critical for service from the wings into the box. Hartford changed its shape a little bit, going with a 3-4-3 today. They had played with 5 in the back last week, headed by Hernandez Foster. Anderson keeps possession. He has been a bright spot for Hartford this season. Now Farrell at the top of the 18 tries to feed it through for Edwards, but a little too much sauce on the pass, and Van Oekel comes up to take it away and restart for Legion. Legion 1-2-2. That win last week against El Paso, their first victory of the season. Damas scored a couple of goals in that game. And also number 11, Dawson McCartney, who's playing the right back. Lance Reiser recognizing Joe Farrell. His 200th USL start in his 233rd game in USL Championship. What do you detect from Birmingham so far, Jim?
A little bit tentative in my book, except for that one drive in the final third. They look a little bit tentative at the moment, but I think that has a lot to do with the pressure that Hartford's putting in on them.
Junior Moreira called for the foul on Enzo Martinez, so they quickly restart. Martinez, boy, you look at his numbers of his career in the league, among the leaders in games played all time, minutes played, goals, and assists. He has had a spectacular career. Now Mensah with space. Back heels it. Denny Trejo. Trejo, Damas, and Pasher. That's a terrific front three for head coach Eric Avila. McElhatton's pass stolen by James Ingram. We won't see a full game from Carriega today. He is still working his way into playing shape. In fact, if the game had been played last week, Brendan Burke had told us he probably would have come out at halftime. Pasher with space to drop it back, then gets it back. Edwards back to help out defensively for Hartford. Sent it into the box and cleared away. No score in the 9th minute. An 85-degree day here at Trinity Health. We went from winter to summer very quickly. Birmingham taking their time, being very patient. They've only scored first once in 5 games this season. Trejo does a nice job of controlling the Martinez. Finds McElhatton open.
They definitely look like they're keying on Trejo.
Damas has not been involved yet, playing in the middle. Joe Farrell keeping an eye on him. Nice steal by Moreira. Hartford will try to counterattack. Played up ahead on the left side to Samadia. Sends it into the box, but sends it wide, and it'll be played out by Birmingham. Damas takes Farrell down, and the foul is called on Ronaldo Damas. You'll get a look at it right here. Pretty simple call for referee Elvis Osmanovic.
Yeah, and Farrell's experience, he's going to get his body in position where he can take that foul.
Carriega. Last year with Memphis had 8 goals and 2 assists in 31 games. That ball knocked out, so it'll be another corner kick, the second of the match for Athletic.
That's a good job drawing that corner kick, get another dangerous set piece. And Birmingham plays with the zonal marking system on that corner kick. It's interesting to see how that works and what Hartford's going to do to set up to try to finish one.
How is that different than what most teams do?
I wouldn't say most teams, but a lot of teams will man mark and pregame they'll have set up who takes who.
It'll be Samadia. Headed out of danger. Anderson can't keep it in. Martinez pass is stolen. Hartford retains possession. Nice change of direction by Samadia. Into the box. Headed up in the air into the suites, and it'll be another corner for Hartford. Hartford is back again. Sorry, Jim. And excited to help the team win. From kickoff to extra time, they're proud to show their support for the amazing community as a founding partner of Hartford Athletic. Visit thehartford.com to learn more. As you were saying?
The new system of play definitely has them getting quality service into the box with that the wide areas being exposed. And they've gotten themselves four corner kicks now at this point.
That one goes over the goal line at the south goal, so it will be a goal kick. Matt Van Okel, who is also listed now as the goalkeeping coach, 38-year-old out of Chesapeake, Virginia, his 17th year in the league. In fact, he has made, this is his 300th appearance. Looking deep for Damas, but Scarlett is there to knock it away, and Hartford regains possession. That'll be a good matchup to watch, Scarlett or Farrell on Damas in the back third for Hartford. One thing Birmingham's doing, Jim, is they're giving Hartford a lot of space. They're not worried about possession.
Yeah, they're getting behind the ball. On the road, as I said, the defensive effort's probably going to be the key. Absorb the pressure and maybe look to counter out of it.
T.J. Prestis, who played well in his only appearance against Pittsburgh, back in the lineup. Number 22 in green. Sent towards Edward. Zhang goes over the goal line, and it'll be another goal kick. As you get a look at Kyle Edwards. You see Edwards and Zhang just missing on a connection. Birmingham defenders put their hands up try to call for an offside. I'm thinking in that situation, you got to go after the ball first. You can't worry about trying to influence the referee on the near side to put the flag up. We're scoreless, 14 minutes in. Second home game of the year for Athletic. Birmingham trying to play on the front foot. Hartford, though, being aggressive. Here's a shot. Knocked away by Farrell. Edwards can't get to it, so it'll be a quick throw in.
Hartford's aggressiveness is definitely forcing Birmingham to be a little bit tentative when they're in the attacking half of the field.
Served into the box, nobody there but green shirts. Anderson plays it up ahead, but Moreira loses to Martinez. Now Trejo drops one back. Moses Mensah moving up as the back line of Legion. They keep two in the back at all times, it seems. And now they'll play it back to midfield to Jake Roof. Here's Hamodu. Little game of catch with Mensah as they switch fields to the far side. Roof plays it off. What's Hartford's defensive posture that you've seen so far?
Yeah, at the moment, as Birmingham establishes possession in the attacking half of the field, they drop into the 5-back setup, which is what I expected.
Mensah sends it through the box, and this will be a Hartford throw-in.
I expected them to drop back when Birmingham has possession in the attacking half of the field. They drop back with the 5-back, and then they look to counter off that, and again, expose the wide areas of the field and create opportunities on the crosses.
Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletics. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations to enjoy some of the best pizza Connecticut has to offer. It's a guy who went to Southern. You're familiar with Worcester Street.
Oh, very, very much so. And my youngest son works at Modern.
Oh, really? Okay. We don't want to give them any credit here. Wayward pass sails into the Legion bench. They're starting to press a little bit more at the Hartford back line. Justin Ingram, number 27, on the 25-day contract, the 26-year-old from Indianapolis, helping fill the hole left by the injury to Marlon Hairston. Here's Curiaga. Moreira's pass, an errant one. Damas has room to run. Quickly converged down by Prestis, who sends him down, and the foul is called.
Midfield needs to be a little bit cleaner in their possession for Hartford, and then the loss of possession.
Here's the foul. Pretty cut and dried. And again, Damas is a guy who just has to feel that you're close, and with that experience, he's going down.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to take advantage of that lost possession in the Hartford's half, and then ball gets to his feet and he goes down.
We are scoreless. Ball played to the near side. Trejo into the box. Shot deflected. Good block and cleared out by Athletic. But quickly back is Mickelhatton.
The Damas and Farrell matchup is an interesting one.
Farrell's got the size on him. Damas has the quickness. Danny Trejo cuts to the middle. They try to find Damas in the box. Samadia there to knock it away. Jang went down. I'm not sure if that was of his own volition.
Looked like he slipped on the turf.
Turf monster got him. This is a little bit smaller pitch than Birmingham is used to. How does that compromise a team's game when they're used to playing on one size and then they play on a field that's slightly smaller?
Well, it's a little advantage for them playing on the road against the system that Hartford is playing in.
Good tackle, but Hartford couldn't find Jang. Long lead pass from Martinez, and Anderson's there to knock it away. Here's Joe Farrell. Diving attempt. Boy, that one was ticketed. He put a little banana bend on that. That was ticketed for the near corner. But Farrell, in game 200, able to knock it away. Slide tackle by Samadi, and we'll have our first corner kick for Birmingham here as we play in the 19th minute.
We'll see how Birmingham sets up with their set piece now.
Kobe Hernandez Foster 22-year-old from Los Angeles in his second year with the Legion. Played overseas in Norway for a couple of years before joining Birmingham. So they have one player short. Cutting in the box for the near post, and Scarlett knocks it away, so we'll do it again.
Safe clearance by Scarlett on that.
The captain, so dependable for Hartford. He, too, a league veteran, his 175th match. What's the advantage to going short?
Well, in this situation here, I was just noticing that Hartford doesn't play with any players on the post, and that could be the goalkeeper's decision to do that. But playing short can draw some additional players away from the goal area and get them an opportunity to play the ball in the box with fewer players.
Service won't touch the turf, so it'll be a Hartford goal kick. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuova Pasta for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuova Pasta will donate meals to the help fight against food insecurity in our community. Jim O'Brien, the women's soccer coach at Mitchell College, sitting in for Mark Donaldson, who will be back with us next week. We appreciate you coming in. It's a big shoes to fill. Well, it's a big chair that Mark sits in, so
it's very tall.
Hopefully comfortable. He is a big man. Good to get Mark back, but it's great to have Jim with us. Played collegiately at Southern. Coached at Stony Brook. Now getting an education here. Here's Samadia. Serves it into the box. Edwards misses the header. Here's Carriaga. Shoots it just wide. Samuel Carriaga with Hartford's best opportunity of the match.
Carriaga was a little bit rushed on this. I think he could have taken a little bit more time to settle that ball down and get a better quality shot off.
Tried to hit it on the half volley and didn't get much on it. Van Ockel had the post covered. Time of possession, which can occasionally be just a useless stat, seems to be in Hartford's favor thus far, but the match is scoreless as we go into the 22nd minute.
The game is settled in a little bit now. Hartford's high press has been solved, but at the same time, they still have possession of the ball. And here the midfield has to be a little bit cleaner in their possession. And then the wing play, the service has to be of better quality, which is a good one here.
Looked like the wind kind of took that one as the shot goes wide. Marrera says it was off a Birmingham player, and it was, so it'll be corner kick number 4 for Hartford.
The setup with the wing play has been very effective, in particular on the left-hand side.
And it'll be Emmanuel Samadia to serve it in. Did not play against Pittsburgh. Had gotten a red card in the opener against Lexington in stoppage time. Hartford leads the league in red cards with 3. That's not a category, Jim, you want to lead the league in.
No, it's a discipline issue that they have to really address.
Yeah, and Brendan Burke says they address it every day in practice. Samadia from the left of Van Eckel. Put in the air, elevates, and Van Eckel comes down with it. Oh, a header on the throw! And Van Eckel has to get it, but was that Jang? I think it was Mamadou who got a head on it and now goes down, and he looks to be hurt. They're calling on the athletic trainer. Let's get a look at what happened as Mike Diaz runs onto the field. Or rather, that's 8, not 9. That's Junior Moreira. There is that Jang. I think that's Jang.
Yeah, it's Jang.
Yep.
He jumped up. It was a smart play, but unfortunately he took it on the side of the head. Yeah, and a head injury obviously is something you have to look very closely at.
Yeah, this is something the referees are so in tune with now that as soon as there's any sort of issue with the head, they come out. Jang now in a sitting position. Let's get another look at that. Van Ockel had pretty good pace on that. Boy, he took that looked like in the right front of his face.
From about 5 feet as well.
Mamadou trying to hang in. Tito's homemade vodka, handmade vodka, is America's favorite vodka for a reason. Distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's is known for great vodka, giving back and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th generation incorporated Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. So Jang will have to come out momentarily and then be sent back into play by Elvis Osmanovic. As you look at the veteran keeper, Van Ockel. Took a loss and a draw to Hartford last year. Didn't play in the game here in 23. That was the backup, Trevor Spangenberg, who got the 1-0 win. But you're right. I mean, he was like 5 yards away, and that was coming at a pretty good rate of speed. So, Jang at midfield, waiting to get the okie dokie by Elvis Osmanovic.
The throw by the goalkeeper was a little bit careless, especially with Jang right there. It was in a short distance away, but he was able to avoid an issue.
Without Engalina, the last thing Hartford can afford is an injury to Mamadou Jang.
Yeah. And
Jang
he's back on.
in.
He looks good.
Yep. We are scoreless. Shots are 4-2 in favor in Hartford, and that in and of itself is a good sign because Hartford is really struggling to get shots, never mind shots on target. They came in last in the league with just 25 shots. Now, that's got to be taken with a grain of salt because they've only played 4 games so far.
Yeah, but they seem to be very aggressively on the offensive side to try to increase that statistic.
Farrell will settle in midfield, find Justin Ingram, and Hartford will reset.
The new player, Justin Ingram's getting into the flow of the game pretty well. He's smart. He's playing 1- and 2-touch football and circulating the ball around. His movement is really good. I like what I see thus far. And Samadi's play on the wing has been excellent.
Almost a little bit sloppy on the pass. Edwards tried a through ball in the box. Edwards goes down, but nothing there, and Birmingham takes possession. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Lux Bond and Green Jewelers since 1898, celebrating life's special moments. Trejo tries to cut it in, and trying to keep it in unsuccessfully is Siaha, so we'll have the second corner kick of the match for Legion. Birmingham came into the league the same time as Hartford, 2019. There were 2 seasons that they didn't play, 2020 and 2021. Conference rivals. Corner from the right of Anthony Siaha. Hartford again with nobody on the posts. And I would think that's a goalie's preference, Jim. That had to come from Siaha because normally you see defenders on the post. Birmingham will reset. Wide open on the left is Trejo. Into the box. And it'll be another corner kick as he deflects it off the Hartford player.
Trejo's been the danger player for them. Very dynamic. Looks to get forward, goes to goal just about every time he gets on the ball.
Trejo has spent the last part of the last 2 seasons in Poland, in one of the better national leagues in Europe. But he's also played in USL. Here's Pasher. Serves it in. Cleared out by Farrell. Possession maintained by Birmingham, who's starting to tilt the field a little bit.
And Hartford starts to sit back and let them maintain some possession at this point with the 5 back, as you can see. on your left and right-hand side.
Roof plays it to the far side. Now Pasher drops back. Works in with Mickelhatton. Here's Kobe Hernandez-Foster, the LA native. Gets it back on a one-touch from Trejo. No score. They tried to lead Mensah, but he went down, fouled by Anderson. So here's a potentially dangerous set piece for Birmingham just outside the box here in the 30th minute.
Yeah, I see a right-footed in-swinger coming into the far post.
As you can see, the trip on Anderson. So a potentially dangerous opportunity. Set pieces have been a problem for Hartford. Trejo looks like he's going to be the one who will take it, though. Hernandez-Foster is over the ball as well. No score in the 30th minute. Athletic looking for their first positive result of the season. It'll be Trejo. Sends it in right to Siaha, who has no problems with it.
Yeah, Siaha had that all the way. Good, solid hands.
Siaha grabs it, absorbs a little bit of a check, another little bit of a check. Siaha's a big fella. I don't know if I'd mess with him.
No, absolutely not.
6'5", 26 years old. Well put together. Looks impressive in that pink kit, which, of course, is a year-long partnership to get some recognition and some awareness towards breast cancer. Seems like it's been a while since Hartford's been in this third. Here's Kyle Edwards getting his first start of the season today. Makes a nice move on Roof. Sends it in. Nobody there but the teenager, Hamoda. Samadia wins a 1v1 battle. Good speed. Kicked out. Another quarter kick for Hartford. That was made by Emmanuel Samadia.
Yeah, he's been dynamic all afternoon. Good performance. Just lacking right now is just that really good quality service where the attacking players can get a good strike on it at goal.
So this will be Anderson to serve it. Our WTNH youth soccer teams of the match are from the Monroe Soccer Club. Jody Ambrosio, Jim O'Brien, and our Power Station crew. Sir Thomas of Stanwix, our producer. Bobby Kaplan, our director, and our fabulous Power Station crew. Hartford goes short. Then that doesn't work. And it'll be a throw-in for Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Shots are still 4-2 in favor of Hartford. Shots on target, 1-0 for Athletic. And I would think both coaches have to be somewhat pleased at what their teams have done. It looks like both are adhering to what was conceived as the game plan. It's another foul on Hartford in the defensive third. Hartford came in on the season 20th in fouls, 20th fewest with 59. Now some room for Moses Mensah. Once again, we thought we'd see Stephen Turnbull, who played well last week, but he was not even picked for selection. So Moses Mensah getting his third start of the season.
Coach Avila spoke very highly of Turnbull in the pregame, and very surprising he's not in the lineup or dressing.
There's a takedown at midfield, and that could be the first yellow of the match, and it goes to Danny Trejo in the 34th minute. Kind of an aggressive takedown of the Hartford player at midfield. So the first yellow of the match. Only the 11th yellow that Birmingham has endured this year. Hartford's only gotten 8, but that's kind of fool's gold because they do have the 3 red cards.
That's the big difference now. Trejo's got to be on his best behavior now, but at the same time, as an attacking player, he's got to take a risk there. Not a dangerous area for a set piece at the midfield line.
Hartford stringing some passes together. One touch Ingram to Samadia as he comes off the wing. Gets it back to Moreira. Here's Anderson on the right. Chipped into the box. Jang racing after it, but this will be another goal kick.
That last sequence is where the quality is just not there. When Hartford gets the ball at the top of the box, they're just not making the crisp pass that's needed there for anyone in the attacking areas of the field to get a quality shot off.
Our match today presented by Trinity Health of New England. Hartford regains possession. You know, it looks like if you're Birmingham, they're trying to build up. If you're Hartford, you're looking to go vertical.
Yeah, when they do that, there's a lot of energy in the game, and the opportunities are created.
Scarlett with a run from the back line, drawing double team, triple team attention. And it'll be a throw. And boy, you don't see Jordan Scarlett sashay up that far up the field, but
this is a foul.
So this will be a dangerous set piece. Enzo Martinez talking to referee Elvis Osmanovic about it. Martinez not happy. Osmanovic says, my call. It's a foul.
Sloppy on Birmingham's part. Two players there. Just clipped an ankle, and the Hartford player went down.
Samadi and Anderson will be over the ball to the right of Matt Van Oekel along the east sideline. Fans enjoying the sun over there. We'll see who takes it. Hartford's got Farrell in the box and Scarlett in the box. And Van Oekel goes up uncontested and cleanly plucks it out of midair.
Van Oekel's a big man. He's and his arm length is long. He can handle those crosses into the box.
Shots continue to be 4-2 in favor of Hartford. Shots on target are 1-0. You know, if you're Hartford, Jim, I would think that you're okay playing this pace, although that was almost a turnover, but Ingram was taken down by Trejo and the foul was called. And as you said, Trejo playing with a yellow has to be careful.
Yeah. And right there, Ingram, I like the way he gets that ball moving, and he plays the 1- and 2-touch ball right there. He was lucky that he was fouled because he gave the ball away in a bad area.
Anderson drops it back. Carriaga in his first extended action of the season. Hartford with space. Edwards distributes to Samadia. Serves it into the box. Edwards' header goes high. But a nice setup that time between Edwards and Samadia with a two-man game.
Edwards just slightly off the post there. If he was tucked inside the near post, he might have been able to finish that.
So it'll be a goal kick for Birmingham. Van Oekel, third all-time in the league in saves and third with 48 clean sheets. In his 17th year, has not had much success against penalty kicks. So if Hartford gets to the spot, they might be able to take advantage of that. Foul from behind on Hamoda. So Hartford will take over in midfield in the 39th minute.
Center referee's been busy over the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it seems
getting
like
a little chippy.
It seems like the physicality has picked up. Once again, Enzo Martinez in a discussion, hands on hips, with Elvis Osmanovic. This is his fifth game in USL Championship this year. He's handed out now 16 yellow cards, with the one to Trejo in the 34th minute.
Martinez is having a word with him. You could see he was motioning to let us play.
They try to find Jang in a race with Hamoda, and it's going to be a goal kick for Birmingham. Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our community ticket program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. Glad you're watching it free of charge, whether it's on ESPN Plus, MyTV9, or WTNH.com. Mark Donaldson off this week, so we welcome in Coach Jim O'Brien, as that one's headed out by Anderson into the Birmingham bench. I'm really surprised how quiet Ronaldo Damas has been so far.
Well, Farrell's played a physical game with him. He's marked him very, very tightly, and it's interesting. They're actually, when they get on the other end on the corners, they're up against each other there as well.
Birmingham possesses. I would not think we're going to have much stoppage time. Really, only the injury to Jang and the one yellow card, but even that was quickly administered. Martinez didn't have his two little set twos with those. Matovic might have been even less stoppage time. Hartford trying to get in the win column for the first time. The only team in USL Championship without a win. Miami got a win last week, as did Birmingham Legion. Although, like Hartford, Legion lost in its U.S. in the Lamar Hunt Open Cup. They lost to the Little Rock Rangers 1-0. We'll talk about the Open Cup at halftime in our USL News and Notes. We'll also visit with the Norwalk native, Jonathan Jimenez, who's on the bench, hoping to get some run in the second half. Once again, we don't expect to see Carriaga more than maybe 50, maybe 55 minutes. Brendan Burke with hands up on the bench, looking for a yellow card. As Kyle Edwards went down hard. Now they are beckoning. Now this may not go well. Michael Hatton is going to get a stern talking to, but won't be put in the book. Birmingham has been the more aggressive team physically in the first half, just from a standpoint of contact.
Mainly in this area of the midfield. It seems that their midfield, they step back a bit, and then when the ball is played into the feet back to goal, they get very aggressive, and that's where the fouls seem to be occurring.
We don't show you here, but Siaha is just outside the center circle. About 50 yards from his goal. Played in the direction of Edwards. Kept in by Carriaga, but he can't control. Trejo tries to find Pasher in midfield, goes off his boot. Sebastian Anderson caught in the middle. We'll play it back to TJ Prestis, the former Yale All-Ivy selection. Once again, Hartford looking to go over the top vertical to Jang. And those two center backs, Hamoda and Roof, have made that almost impossible in the first 45.
Hamoda, for a 16-year-old, has done a very nice job. He's very cool, calm, and collected back there.
Here he is, Ramiz Hamoda from Lincoln, Nebraska. Now Mensah. Hamoda slows it down. Finds the veteran Jake Roof. He scored the first goal of the year for Birmingham in their opener against Loudoun. Scored 2 minutes in. They have not exactly been offensively impressive either. They have 7 goals in 5 games. Mensah plays it up ahead for Trejo. Serves it in. Damas can't get to it. Hartford clears it out of danger. Approaching the 45th minute.
Oof.
Oh, Brendan Burke furious at that hard tackle. That's going to be another yellow card. And they call for the trainer. Looks like that's Junior Moreira. Let's get a look at it here. Boy, he was sent to the turf hard by Homoda, who gets his third yellow of the season. So they attend, I believe that's Junior Moreira. And it is Brignell Vineyard stoppage time. There are 3 minutes of stoppage time. No, I think Brendan Burke wanted more than a yellow there, because that was a pretty tough foul from behind on Moreira. Had his back turned to the play. But Osmanovic deciding a yellow was enough discipline. So we've got 3 minutes of stoppage time here in a scoreless first half on a sun splash Saturday afternoon at Trinity Health. Shots are now 5-2 in favor of Hartford.
I'm sure Coach Avila will be happy to get into the locker room with a 0-0 scoreline.
Right. If you're the visiting team, you're pleased with how things have gone thus far.
Yeah, I think they literally have played within the game plan, as has Hartford, other than the fact that Hartford's had several more opportunities to finish in the first half.
Only the one dangerous chance by Carriaga, and that one went wide. Nice move by Mensah to get away from the aforementioned Carriaga. Homoda is spun down by Sebastian Anderson. That'll be a foul on Hartford. Right, I wouldn't call it the perfect road half because they really haven't had any dangerous opportunities, but they're just kind of playing the game, letting Hartford dictate possession. They've really not been able to service Damas at all.
Hartford would like one more quality opportunity before they get to the half.
Now Mensah gives to Trejo. Cuts it back to the left, tries to deke inside. Has Mensah open on the wing. Back it goes to Homoda. 3 minutes of stoppage time, and I would think we're winding down here. Pasher tries to cut it in at the 18. He's tripped up, and this is going to be a dangerous opportunity as the foul was called on Justin Ingram from just at the top of the box. So it'll be from 22 yards out.
Pasher's running touchline to touchline, unnecessary foul.
So a potentially dangerous situation as the first half winds down. Looks like it'll be Trejo and Hernandez Foster over the ball. Martinez will be in the wall. And now Eric Avila has gotten a yellow card in stoppage time. So Avila put into the book. That's something the league said they were going to crack down on. They wanted to keep the arguments from the bench to a minimum. And Avila had seen enough. So they moved the wall back 10 yards. I would guess, Jim, it'll be Trejo to take this direct. Maybe try to bend it towards the far post.
Based upon his background, his experience, I think he's the man that's going to take the kick.
This is probably going to be the last play of the first half. as they continue to move the wall around. I don't think either coach is going to be happy with the officiating as we go to break. But then again, what coach is? Left-footed shot and a save made by Siaha. Golden opportunity by Hernandez Foster. And we go to halftime. Anthony Siaha saves Hartford's bacon. That was ticketed for the inside post.
Brilliant right hand, solid save by Siaha.
So Birmingham saved its best for last, but it wasn't good enough. 45 minutes in the books at Trinity Health Stadium, scoreless between Birmingham Legion and Hartford Athletic. Our halftime is next here on ESPN+.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
For your small business, no detail is too small. We know this because we're the Hartford, with experience insuring millions of small businesses. So, with insurance off your mind, you can get to this. Nice haircut. Learn more at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
Welcome back to Trinity Health Stadium. Jody Ambrosio, Jim O'Brien. A scoreless first half. Neither team pressing the issue very much. Hartford had the better of playing the offensive third, but neither team was able to convert that into a goal. As we look at some of our halftime highlights, that was a dangerous corner. Van Ockel made the save. The best chance for Hartford came from Samuel Carriaga. Watch him in a moment. I think we have that as he makes a shot. Now let's go back to the other end. Maybe we don't have it. Joe Farrell with a nice defensive play. Here's Trejo as Farrell blocks it. What do you make out of the halftime stats?
What was expected? Hartford really trying to get on the front foot. Birmingham happy with the result at halftime, 0-0. Hartford just the quality chances could have been better, and it would have been a typical 0-0 scoreline.
USL News and Notes and my sit down with Jonathan Jimenez next. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN Plus, MyTV9, and WTNH.com.
Whoa, what a hit for San Antonio! It's in! Tahoma! Colorado Springs!
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off it. Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Time for some halftime news and notes. It was a good week in the U.S. Open Cup. 12 championship teams getting into the round of 32. 7 will be hosting MLS sides. Buffalo about to join the league, and the Jägermeister Cup kicks off next weekend right here on ESPN+. Well, once again, there's a Connecticut native on the Athletic roster. He is the 23-year-old Jonathan Jimenez, and when I spoke to him earlier, we talked about growing up in Norwalk.
JJ, growing up in Norwalk, what was that like for you?
Growing up in Norwalk was, it built me as a person, as a player. I mean, on my mom's side, I have around 20 cousins, so I lived with them and in the same house and around them. So just playing soccer with them, growing up, very active as a kid. So yeah, I think it was good. It built me as a person.
Did you play at McMahon? Were you a Senator?
I was a Senator, but I wasn't able to play because I was playing in New York on the academy.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't play.
Right.
I couldn't play both teams. But
what was your best memory of going to Brian McMahon?
Best memory, I can't really pinpoint one, but my friends. I have lifelong friends that went to Brian McMahon, and yeah, I think just the people, honestly, the people, the teachers. I still,
What was it about soccer that attracted you to play it?
Family.
Yeah.
So as I said, I have a big family. Growing up, all the World Cups we watched together, and together I mean like 30 plus people, squeezed into a living room. But yeah, my family, all my cousins play. My brother played. My parents played, both mom and dad. So yeah, family. They've, even till now, they drive me to be the best I can be at the sport, because I'm the only one that have made it to the pro ranks. So
Yeah.
That drives me a lot.
Now, from what they say, who was a better player, mom or dad?
Mom.
Mom was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly,
Was she a striker or?
She was. There wasn't any positions back then. there weren't any positions, but yeah, she very athletic till now. Like she's like what? She's like not throwing any shade, but she's like 55. She's still doing
trust me,
jump rope. All
Trust
that
me, brother,
stuff.
that's not that old. So you played for NYCFC too.
Yes.
What was that experience like, and how did that help you become who you are today?
As I said, in high school I played for the academy in New York.
Right.
So going to school and then having that call saying we want you back, we want you to come in and play professionally, I was like, yeah, like no doubt. The coach that was there for the second team was my academy coach.
Yeah.
So it was just all like very clear for me, like this is what I want to do. It's shaped me into being a better professional. I know at college you can kind of slack off,
Right.
I went to school where there was 30 to 40 people in the roster, so you can very easily just slip through the cracks. But coming to New York, they instilled the professional mentality, and that's what I brought onto here.
You mentioned college, 3 years at North Carolina, so
Yes.
you bleed Tar Heel blue.
Yes, of course.
What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Just seeing like the energy that they put into sports. I mean, obviously the school is amazing, but the energy that they put into sports, field hockey, football, basketball, obviously, but like even like sports that aren't as popular in America. Golf, the golf team is huge. So it was awesome. Just being around great athletes and great people.
And you guys had success there. You got to the College Cup semifinals one year
Yes.
and lost to Marshall.
Yes.
And what was the College Cup experience like?
It was awesome. I mean, at that point, it was I think the year after COVID, the year after COVID. So it was kind of like we were kind of stuck in a hotel, just bonding the whole time, just doing online classes like the whole time together. So it was awesome, and then obviously getting to that point like where you're working so hard that you're reaping the benefits. It's an awesome feeling.
You were kind of a villain here in 2024 when you had 2 assists when NYC FC2 beat Athletic in the U.S. Open Cup. Yeah. So when they reached out to you to come here, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely interested, for sure. Obviously interested, but yeah, I mean, I saw the way that you guys play, very physical, very athletic, very direct, and that's my kind of play. I'm an attacker, and I like to run and be exciting. So I was very pulled, like gravitated towards the style of play.
And you had the game-winning goal in the round of 32 against Switchbacks. That had to be, as much as the 2 assists here was nice in your home state. Game-winning goal in a U.S. Open Cup must have been. What kind of goal was it?
It was honestly like, so I was in the midfield, kind of skipped through 2 players. Another center back came, I cut him and scored. But I think that cup run was just like it was good because
it was magical.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I was playing against kids that were like kind of my age or younger. Then going against playing against these USL Championship teams, we got a little chip on our shoulders. So yeah, it was fun.
What's the biggest difference, JJ, between playing MLS Next Pro and playing USL Championship?
Biggest difference, I would say, is speed of play and physicality.
Yeah.
I think that MLS Next Pro is great, a little slower pace. Here, everything's 100%. You have to work hard, run. So it's a lot more on the body as well. So.
Well, good luck this week, and good luck
much.
the rest of the year.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
The second longest tenured coach in the league, Tommy Sohn, is out in Birmingham. Robbie Nielsen, surprisingly, out in Tampa Bay.
Eric Avila named the interim for the Birmingham Legion. Gets a win on the weekend, but what does the identity of this team look like? Tampa Bay Rowdies, simple, results-driven business. 4 wins in their last 20 matches in all competition. And how about some cup sets? Open Club glory awaits.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
For your small business, no detail is too small. We know this because we're the Hartford, with experience insuring millions of small businesses. So, with insurance off your mind, you can get to this. Nice haircut. Learn more at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
Getting set for the second half. Hartford Athletic Soccer on MyTV9, WTNH.com, and ESPN Plus, brought to you by LDI Connect. Jody Ambrosio, Jim O'Brien. It was a scoreless first half, but only, Jim, because Anthony Siaha was Johnny on the spot on the last play of the half.
Yeah, he saved the day. But I think again, both teams, as we spoke about at halftime, possibly coming up with a point each would be acceptable, but I think Hartford would be at home to get that goal in the second half here would be 3 points and we'll take it.
Even though Hartford is undermanned, and we talked about the fact that maybe playing without 4 first-team guys, 4 regulars, you'd be satisfied with a point. I don't know if you can be satisfied when you're 0-4.
Yeah, and at home for the first time in quite some time as well.
Going left to right, shooting towards the south goal in the second half. Birmingham Legion dressed in the gold, trimmed in white. Hartford in the fortress green with white trim. Possession was slightly in favor of Birmingham as they play a long ball for Pasher. Nice job by Samadia to take it away from him and start the counter.
Once the game settled in, that was the case. Early stages, it was Hartford. Middle to late stages, it was definitely Birmingham.
Hartford seemed to have the better of play in the midfield. Here's Justin Ingram on that 25-day contract, starting for the injured Marlon Hairston, who we don't expect next week for Game 1 of the Jägermeister Cup against Portland. Played up ahead. Carriaga shoots, save made. Rebound, Edwards can't get a foot on it. Cleared up in the air, still not out. Samadia, second header. On the ground, and Van Ockel comes out and takes it. A good flurry by Hartford there.
Yeah, Corriega could have been a little bit more composed and a little bit more clinical on the finish, but a great save at just the same.
Here's Trejo in the box. He goes down, and it'll be a goal kick for Hartford.
Trejo's fortunate he didn't get called for simulation.
Get a look at that Hartford opportunity. Or rather, here's Trejo against Prestis. Yeah, really not much contact there, if any.
That's a professional dive.
Once again, Hartford playing without Arturo Dispe and Beverly Macangila, serving mandatory one-game suspensions for red cards in Hartford's last match. Michi Engalina and Marley Harrison both hurt. Engalina expected back for the Portland game next Saturday at 4 o'clock. First game of the Jägermeister Cup, which is an expanded format this year. Of course, Portland beat Hartford in penalty kicks up in Maine in round 2 of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, a game that Hartford had so many opportunities. Here's Carriaga in space, looking for help. Sends it back to Anderson. Carriaga marked by Mensah on the far side. Nice, we see a little bit of his dribbling ability there. Here's Junior Moreira. Now the captain, Jordan Scarlett, as Hartford tries to build the attack. Just the start of things, second half on an 85-degree day. Through ball played. In for Jang, and he airmails it over the goal. Best chance for Momo. This is a little inadvertent. Oops. That's Tyler Pasher. That couldn't have. It didn't look good. I'm sure it didn't feel good as well.
That lost possession created an opportunity for Hartford.
So it's Birmingham on the restart. Fans, join us for our next home match next Saturday, April 26th at 4 p.m. It's Hawaiian Day. Be one of the first 2,000 fans and get a free lei, and stick around after the game for a special post-game autograph session with the team. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at HartfordAthletic.com. I pray to God that Donaldson does not come in a Hawaiian shirt next week. I don't think that would be pretty, and I think our producer, Sir Thomas of Stanwix, would be wholeheartedly in agreement with me on that one.
I have one he can borrow.
Trust me. At your size, Donaldson's not fitting into your shirts, Jim. I can tell you that right now. Not that he's a large man, but he's somewhat bigger than you. Birmingham on the attack, into the box. And Pasher couldn't get anything on that, so it'll be a goal kick for Hartford. So we've seen a little more offensive aggression in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
I'm sure at halftime both coaches said, they want to push the envelope a bit here. However, the finishing and the composure has left a lot to be desired.
Scarlett up ahead for Edwards. Kyle with 10 goals in 2 years for Athletic. Had 7 in the first year, 2023. Put 3 in the back of the net last year. Of course, he plays a lot for St. Vincent and Grenadines on their national team. Here's numbers. Hernandez Foster with space. Veers left. And that one headed into the suites. The Liberty Bank suites at the goal to the right.
Trejo wishes he had that one back.
Danny Trejo, 35 goals in 80 games in his career. Played in the I'll get this right. Okay, I practiced this all last night. Ekstraklasa, which is the number 1 league in Poland. Spent part of last year with Phoenix, scoring 11 goals, 7 assists. Rather, that was 2023 when they won the USL Championship. Here's Carriaga. So far, he's looked good. Again, not at total fitness. Brendan Burke telling us during the week it'll probably be 2 or 3 matches before he reaches that point. Anderson with a chance for service. Instead, drops it back to Carriaga. Scarlett open on the left as he moves up. Now Samaria.
Got a sub coming now.
It's probably for Carriaga. There's a hard tackle as Anderson goes down, as Adewale Obalola gets set to check in. And did they call that a corner for Hartford? Yep. 5th corner of the match for Hartford. And it will be Justin Ingram who comes out. So Ingram plays 52 minutes in his first game in green. And the 19-year-old Nigerian Adewale Obalola seeing the pitch for the 4th time in league play.
Coach Burke has to be happy with Ingram's performance today.
This will be Anderson with the in-swinger from the right of Matt Van Ockel. Collision in the box. Foul on Hartford as players go down. It'll be a free kick for Van Ockel.
The center official is calling things tight.
It tightened up as the match went in. It was kind of loose at the beginning, and then things got a little tight. So Obalola is more of an attacking player than Ingram was, who was more of a holding midfielder. So we'll see if that changes Hartford's offensive plans at all. Played to Pasher, who drops back. Overlapping there was Dawson McCartney. He had the stoppage time goal last week to clinch the win over El Paso. Samaria has to retreat to Scarlett. Good passing in limited space by Hartford there. Now Carriaga, kind of the orchestrator. Samuel Carriaga. Now Moreira. Junior's got Prestis open on the right. Hartford has pretty much controlled the middle third of the field, but has been kind of slow on the attack.
Birmingham's been content to let them do that as well.
Anderson open outside the box, chips it in, and Van Ockel gets it before Jang can elevate for it.
The big man's going to gobble that up every time.
The Fix is Connecticut's premier standalone IV vitamin therapy boutique, offering customers intravenous vitamin infusions and intramuscular vitamin injections that maximize health, performance, and recovery, with all service administered by licensed registered nurses. Located in West Hartford Center, visit thefixivtherapy.com to learn more. No score between Birmingham and Hartford here in the 56th minute. Here's Dawson McCartney. Plays it back to Jake Roof. There's the 16-year-old Nebraska native Ramiz Hamoda. Nice slide tackle as Birmingham gets set to bring in Sebastian Tregarthen for Tyler Pasher. Pasher had been hurt early in the year, came back last week to get the start, but his day is done after 56 minutes. So it'll be Tregarthen making his third appearance out of Uruguay. Played last year in USL 2. So we'll see how that changes the attack. Pasher, one of the better servicemen in the league, and dangerous in the box. In fact, Brendan Burke talked during the week about he thinks the Birmingham top 5 is among the best in the league. Hartford's held them in check thus far. Here's McCartney. Knocks it over the near touch line on the west sideline, so it will be a throw-in. So each team has gone to the bench once today. Obalola for Ingram for Hartford. Tregarthen for Pasher for Legion. Looks like Hartford getting a couple of more subs ready to come in. Edwards in a bit of animated conversation is into a little muscle tussle with McCartney that drew the attention of the referee, Elvis Osmanovic.
Question is how long Coach Burke is going to stretch Carriega.
Well, he's probably gotten more out of him than he would have gotten last week when he told Phil Murphy and myself that he probably wouldn't last till halftime last week. Of course, that game called off due to unplayable field conditions. We had snow last week. Here we've got 85 and sunny. Although when I stepped outside at the half, it's pretty windy out there. Offside against Obalola, so it'll be a free kick for Legion. No, it's not offside, it's a foul. Called by the assistant official, Brian Canetta, working with Justin Lopez. Steen Bream is the fourth official.
That was an easy one for the AR there.
Once again, a Hartford player. This time, Samadia takes one right in the face from McCartney. And that'll bring head athletic trainer Matt Diaz onto the field in a hurry. It looked like it hit him on the elbow.
Yeah.
Although they're attending.
I think his hand
knocked
hit
into his
himself.
face.
Yeah.
You look at
it hit him on the elbow, and then his hand hit his face.
That's a heck of a 24th birthday present if you're Emmanuel Samadia. Let's get one more look at it here. Watch how close McCartney is. Boy, he drilled that. So Samadia will have to come off momentarily. Gives us a chance to tell you that Flourish is proud to be the official catering partner of Hartford Athletic. They provide healthy and delicious catering, meal prep, and takeout. Visit them online at flourishhartford.com or stop by their Flyby location at 72 New Park Avenue in Hartford. So, Samadia slaps hands with McCartney. Certainly nothing Dawson could have done about that. He didn't intentionally try to drill him in the bush. And Samadia will rub some water on it and miraculously be okay to come back. Earlier,
he's good to go.
Mamadou Jang took one off a throw from Van Okel, and Jang was down for a while. But he's back out there looking to get his second goal of the season. He scored the only goal for Hartford thus far in over 400 minutes of play. Roof tries to play it through for Damas. Couldn't backheel it for Tregarthen, and Hartford takes over. Here's Carriaga. Samuel Carriaga getting his first start today off the injured list. Now Sebastian Anderson. He and Samadia have played well as the wingbacks. Been involved in a lot. Hartford trying to attack from the wing. Speaking of Samadia, 1v1 with McCartney. Into the box. Too many gold jerseys back there, and Enzo Martinez will start the counter. Good play by Prestis as they were trying to go long for Trejo. Siaha, who had the big save at the end of the first half on a dangerous direct by Kobe Hernandez-Foster from 22 yards out. Right in front of Siaha. Tried to bend it far post, and Siaha dove to make the save. The only shot on target for Birmingham in the first 61 minutes. We are scoreless here on an 85-degree day at Trinity Health.
Carriaga has seen a lot of the ball here in the second half. Drops back into midfield. Gets to attacking positions higher up.
Scarlett will go back to Siaha, who truly is one of the sweeper keepers. Now Moreira tries to play it up ahead. Obalola drops back to Anderson. He tries to chip it in. Sent up in the air and easily gathered by Van Oekel. Neither team with much of a consistent attack in the attacking third here in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like midfield play, keep possession, and then in the final third, it's just a service that just needs better quality. I'd like to see Samadia, instead of an occasional service, is just to drive in, cut inside onto his right foot, and see if he can get opportunities off that way, just to change things up and to be a little less predictable.
Birmingham trying to build up the attack. They have 6 shots to 8 for Hartford as we approach the 64th minute. Ramiz Hamoda over to Roof. Tries to play it up ahead. Headed down. That looked
That was out.
And they do call it out. Trey Garthen couldn't control, so it'll be a goal kick for Hartford. Quickly on the restart.
Good quick play by Farrell.
It's been a good game for Joe Farrell. He has shut down, to this point, Ronaldo Damas, who came in off the brace last week against El Paso, the 7th brace of his career. Damas actually on loan from GIF Sundsvall in Sweden. Second year in a row that he's been on loan. Played into the box and knocked away by Hamoda as Mamadou Jang was lurking in the box. So it'll be corner kick number 6. Or let's make it 7 for Hartford.
Jang was just a bit too early on his run. Once again, once he got on the ball, he just didn't have an opportunity to get the ball in frame. But he created an opportunity for a corner kick again.
So Samadia will take it at the northeast corner of the pitch. Hartford brings Prestis and Farrell and Scarlett all up. Try to get a little size. Siaha playing inside the center circle. In swinger. And again, Hartford really not getting anything out of the corner kicks.
They're playing it right into their goalkeeper Van Oekel's hands. That's his strength. He's got a long wingspan. He's gonna catch every one of those right down the center.
Damas comes back to try to help facilitate the attack. 2 men open on the far side for Birmingham. They look that way. Now they reverse fields to Trejo, who's now playing on the right side. Danny Trejo. And that one sails into the sweets. Knocks it off a Hartford player, so it's corner number 5 for Birmingham as we hit the hour 5 mark in the match. No score. Hartford has been blanked 3 times in 4 games. Hartford's going to bring a sub in. It's going to be Deshane Beckford in for Kyle Edwards at the next opportunity. Once again, Trejo is short. Looks like Hernandez Foster will take it. Puts it in, put up in the air. Trejo can't get to it. It's cleared out. Good job by Adewale Obalola. Starts the run up field, gets set hurtling down, and we've got a yellow on Jake Roof.
Roof had no choice, and it was that was a no-brainer for the center official with the yellow card.
Second yellow for Roof this year as you look at the table official, Steve Bream, signaling that Beckford will enter the match. Westfield Bank, the regional community bank focused on its customers and their financial security, the communities we share and the teams we root for. Westfield Bank, what better banking's all about. Online at westfieldbank.com, member FDIC. So Deshane Beckford, who had started twice this season, comes in the day over for Kyle Edwards. As Brendan Burke looks for a combination to get some goals here.
A fresh set of legs will be welcome.
Hartford patiently probing into midfield. Anderson comes back. And they'll play it all the way back as Siaha, some 25 yards from the goal line, will trigger the offense. They try a through ball, and there's only gold shirts there, but it's inadvertently knocked over the near touchline by Roof. Boy, Kiriaga's had the ball on his boot a lot in this second half. Now Farrell from midfield. Joe sends it far side, looking for Samadia. Keeps it in play, cleared out by Roof to an open Kobe Hernandez Foster. Tries to find Damas, but Farrell off the side of his boot. Nice play to Jordan Scarlett.
With Kiriaga so involved in the game, I don't think he's going to want to come off.
No, exactly. Here's Samuel. Plays in the middle to Beckford. Cuts it across to Jang. Or rather to Obalala. Now Moreira. Kiriaga pressured. Here's Beckford. Slips, and it's the easiest save of the day for Matt Van Okel.
Not a good start for Beckford there. That was not a good decision. He should have played the ball out wide to Samadia again.
Looking for Trejo. Had position on Samadia. Gets it back to Martinez. Enzo Martinez has also been quiet here in the second half, Jim.
Yeah, he's got quite an engine, but I do think he shut that one off for the last 10, 15 minutes or so. Started out initially very, very involved, and then he's faded a bit.
No score. Shots are 9-6 in favor of Hartford. Shots on target are 3-1, but that's a deceiving stat. Good tackle by Anderson. Now the foul is called. So it will be Birmingham possession from midfield. They change the field over to Roof. Jake Roof finds Danny Trejo into the box. Damas can't get to it. Siaha comes off his line to grab it. Enzo Martinez, in his career, has 7 goals against Hartford. He has been a Hartford killer.
That's an amazing stat.
As we approach the 71st minute of play, Jody Ambrosio, Jim O'Brien sitting in admirably from Mark Donaldson. Now Kiriaga controlling the ball, as Jim noted, much more here in the second half. Prestis looking for Obalola. Goes free, but played back by Mickelhatton. And possession again retained by Birmingham, but really not doing anything in the offensive third. Here's a turnover, shot by Beckford, deflected, goal! Deshane Beckford in the 71st minute off the turnover gets Hartford on the board. It's 1-0 Athletic.
Beckford comes off the bench, gets a good quality opportunity, scores the go-ahead.
Looked like Van Ockel was kind of taken off guard by that. Nice slide tackle there. Jang sets up Beckford. And boy, that's a misplay by Van Ockel.
Van Ockel got caught on the wrong foot. This was a bad dribble out of the back. Rookie mistake. 1-0 lead.
So for Deshane Beckford, career goal number 15. We'll wait and see if they give Jang an assist. If they do, it's Mamadou's first in his 35th game in USL. As we'll wait to hear from the inimitable Lance Reiser on the PA. So I would think, nope, no assist for Jang, because that one bounced off the keeper. Here's Samadia. Knocks it forward. So if you're Birmingham now, you've got to get back on the front foot.
You're going to start to press now. Here's Martinez. He's livening up now.
Got away with a little shove, a little frustration against Jordan Scarlett. I think you're right about Carriaga. You're going to have to drive him out of the game.
Yeah, I think Coach Burke is content with leaving him out there, especially the way he's playing.
Price Chopper is an official partner of Hartford Athletic. Soccer fans save 15% with your Advantage Edge card off general admission tickets to all Hartford Athletic home games here at Trinity Health Stadium. Visit PriceChopper.com for more details on this amazing offer. As you were saying before I rudely interrupted you.
He just looks good. He looks fit. I think if I were Coach Burke, I'd leave him out there and let him run the show.
Scarlett hoists one long upfield, trying to get Obalola to run under it. Foul is called. Second goal of the season for Athletic in their 5th game. And now they have to avoid what's been a bugaboo, giving up a goal in the 75th minute. They have given up a goal in every game in the 75th minute or after.
Here's where the discipline comes in. Everybody's got to focus in, bear down, get this result.
As you see Jang run up the back of Trey Garthin. Ball sails long, and there's Siaha out of his goal line. As a coach, what do you tell your keepers as far as how far to come out and when?
Well, with the lead, you want to be a little bit more careful. But Siaha's he's very good with his feet. Very athletic goalkeeper. He can recover. He moves well. You have to give your goalkeeper that type of a freedom, especially with his distribution ability. He can control things back there.
Ball played upfield. It's going to be another corner kick for Hartford as Amoda had a slide to knock that away from an on-charging Hartford player. Corner kick number 8 for Hartford as they protect a 1-0 advantage. On the Border is fired up for Cinco de Mayo. Just around the corner, featuring live entertainment, sizzling fajitas, and signature margaritas. I can vouch for that. Made with 100% blue agave tequila. Now offering endless tacos, starting at $10 now until May 31st. On the Border makes an outstanding margarita. We're going to get another substitution here eventually for the visitors. The former Hartford Athletic player, Preston Tabor Itaka, is going to come in the game for Trejo, and also looks like Roman Torres will come in as well as Eric Avila looking for a successful combination. So Torres is in for Mickelhatton. Roman Torres, 23-year-old from Dallas, on loan from Minnesota United FC. Hartford a 1-0 lead on the goal by Beckford in the 71st minute. Harmless play that Matt Van Oekel will tell you he should have stopped. In fact, he did stop it, and the ball, he couldn't corral it, and the ball got through him and went in.
He got caught leaning the wrong way. He was down on one knee.
Played in the box. No problems for Siaha, as Hartford had Trejo and Damas covered. Nice fake there by Siaha. Hartford will be very deliberate, but you can't take your foot off the pedal altogether. Good move by Scarlett to change fields to Prestis.
These two substitutions are some blood in the midfield and blood in the attack to get some energy to get that equalizer.
Into the 78th minute of play, Hartford the 1-0 lead, looking for the initial win of the season after starting with 4 losses. They're home next Saturday for Portland in the Jägermeister Cup. Portland beat them in penalty kicks in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup last month. Hartford retreating, and Moreira sends it back to his keeper. They try to spring Jang over the top, too far. No problems for Van Oekel there as he quickly gets the restart going to Roof. Now, Dawson McCartney. He has one of the 7 Legion goals on the season. 1 was an own goal. Only 3 players have scored goals in 5 games for Legion. Damas, of course, with 4. Ties him for 3rd in the league. Once again, Hartford's really dropped that front line back. Played off Jang. Boy, Mamadou's going to need an ice bath when this one's over. Handball called against Obalola. Now we're going to get the subs in the game. Preston Tabor Itaka, number 10, spent the 2021 season with Hartford. 25 games played, had 5 goals. And Roman Torres had started 4 games before you. The former Creighton Blue Jay will come in to give a little energy in the midfield. Mickelhatton leaves the pitch.
The substitutions are a welcome break for Hartford, just to give them a little bit of a breather as the substitutions are made, so they can collect themselves and get ready for the next 15.
With this short bench, only 14 first-team players available, I would think Brendan Burke has pretty much played his hand. Jonathan Jimenez, the only regular first-teamer who has not played. Here's Martinez dropping back to try to help the attack.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. I think Coach Burke is going to leave these boys out on the field.
Itaka couldn't control, so it'll be a throw-in. Sebastian Anderson, not exactly hustling after the ball.
He's taking his time.
Into the 80th minute here at Trinity Health. Dayhill Dome, the place to play. Open to all ages and abilities. Rent our facility to run your own program or register for one of ours. Either way, They welcome everyone to experience the best sports facility in the region. Visit DayhillDome.com. That is such a big help for Hartford, especially this time of the year, being able to practice in a very good indoor facility, not have to be out in the elements.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing better than a controlled environment for training. Say what you will about, we have to get outside in the weather. It's just so much better for the players to be comfortable and be able to train hard in a facility like that.
They try to play it ahead for Tregarthen. Scarlett is there to knock it away. Nice spin by Marrero, using his body to shield the Birmingham player and get it off to Samadia. His pass, a little bit too much hot sauce on it. Stolen away by Hernandez Foster. Now Martinez trying to create in the middle. 1-0 Hartford on the Beckford goal. Tabor Itaka racing with Obalola. Anderson knocks it over the far touchline. Throw in Birmingham.
Hartford has to be very smart in possession, especially when they get into the attacking half of the field. A lost possession becomes a counterattack when you push your attacking players forward.
Tregarthen cuts in, moves along the 18, a shot deflected, and it'll be a corner kick for Birmingham here in the 82nd minute. Any sort of set-piece situation is a dangerous one at this point.
You know, when the fatigue starts to set in, physically and especially, you're desperate to get the 3 points. Giving up a set piece is a challenge.
Ball sent in. Farrell elevates to head it out. And the foul was called as a Hartford player hits the turf. It's Jang again. Mamadou went up to try to help clear the ball out, but they're not calling Matt Diaz in. Looked like he went down before Farrell played the ball. Took a push in the back. But Momo's okay. He'll carry on. Talking with Elvis Osmanovic, the referee, who has doled out 4 yellow cards, all to Legion. Hartford has not gotten a yellow card yet today as you look at the supporters over in the East stands. On this Easter Saturday, a hot, breezy day here in the west end of the capital city. Hartford looking to break into the win column and beat Birmingham here at Trinity Health for the second year in a row. Hartford took a 1-0 decision last year in their home opener when it was a little bit colder than it is today, Jim.
Yeah, and the call, that's what they were talking about, how it was going to be about a 50-degree difference from what I understand.
Nice steal. Here's Beckford. Cuts it in. Looking for a handball not called. Tregarthen will get hounded by Beckford. Long ball upfield. Tabor Itaka is open. Hartford retreats. Drops the ball back. Give and go on the left. Sent in. Prestis clears it away. 3 center backs for Hartford have all played well today. There's a nice slide by Samadia. Hernandez Foster with Torres. Scarlett boots it out of danger momentarily, and Beckford inadvertently puts it out with his head. Quick restart. Tregarthen has it tackled away and cleared upfield by Beckford, not out. Kept into the offensive half by Birmingham, looking for the equalizer, chasing 1 goal. Here's we approach the 85th minute. Tabor Itaka, watched closely by Sebastian Anderson. Loops it into the box. Samadia inadvertently heads it over the goal line, so it's another corner kick. Number 7 for Legion.
Samadia has got to do better with that clearance.
Today's Hartford Business Journal Business Alliance partner of the match, Allied Printing. So they line up Martinez short, Hernandez Foster on the ball, Mensah and Obalola in a little bit of a battle as Hartford lays 1v1 defense in the box. Hernandez Foster's service is loose. Ball is free. Still loose. Shot goes wide. Tabor Itaka didn't have an angle, but he knocked it off a Hartford player. So it's another corner. That was a little bit too close for comfort that time. Ball bounding around there. Sent back. Headed up in the air. Played by Beckford. And when in doubt, kick it out.
They literally parked the bus off that last corner kick.
Hartford protecting the 1-0 lead on the Deshane Beckford goal in the 71st minute. Now Dawson McCartney. Trey Garthen has Martinez free in the box. Bangs it off Scarlett. Scarlett will take it away. Martinez looking for a handball.
100% handball. His arm was stretched out, bounced off his foot. Clearly a handball.
Handball called by Martinez, who's not agreed with the call.
Well, the referees have that rule has changed.
How so?
For this coming year, where if it's in an unnatural position, so
it's a handball.
It's not a handball.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was so his hand was out, and it rebounded off of his foot and deflected off of his hand.
It just looks to drill it downfield, and he does. Trey Garthen tries to settle, taken away by Obalola. Adewale in a battle in the far corner. And it's a throw-in for Legion. I would think at this point in the match, Jim, if you're Hartford, it's all defense all the time.
Yeah, well, when they get into these areas of the field, though, they're taking too many risks and losing the ball, and then they have to go back on defense, and then the defending just becomes just the fatigue factor comes into play.
Here comes Birmingham on the counter as we head towards stoppage time here at Trinity Health. Tabor Itaka taking off the ball. Nice play made by Carriaga, who has gone the distance for Hartford today. Scarlett clears it upfield. That's a time consumer. Mensah will throw it in. As we approach stoppage time. Should be somewhere 3 or 4 minutes, somewhere around there. Here's McCartney into the Hartford half. Beckford watching. Hartford drops the front line back. Protecting this 1-0 lead. Played back for Hamoda. Now Hernandez Foster trying to create. Trey Garthen plays it up ahead for McCartney. McCartney just dribbles it out of bounds. Got turned around. Good defense by Beckford, who had gone back there, but Dawson McCartney kind of looked, Jim, like he lost where he was on the pitch.
You're right about Beckford. Did a great job of just being patient and letting him take touches on the ball. He wasn't going anywhere, and then of course he nudges the ball out of bounds on his own.
Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. There are 4 minutes of stoppage time. As a Hartford player is down. Maybe cramping up a little bit. As that's Emmanuel Samadia. Looks to be okay. So Hartford 4 minutes away from their first 3 points of the season. They will be the 24th and final team, if they can hold on, in USL Championship to get a victory. Siaha's going to jog over, and I use jog lightly.
He's been instructed to pick up the pace, but he's not. Checking the turf.
Birmingham may have one more sub up their sleeves. Looks like Thiago Suarez will come in. Meanwhile, down the other end, here's Obalola looking to put the slowdown on. Gets it free to Beckford in the box. Here's DeShane. Shot saved near post by Van Oekel. Boy, DeShane Beckford maybe had one shaky play at the start, but he's been really good since coming in. Long ball played up the far side.
Yeah, he was. He's brought the energy, brought the attacking personality that they needed at that point in particular, and also the fresh legs were a big plus.
So here's Diego Suarez in for Moses Mensah. Suarez, who's on loan from the New England Revolutions, who will play Rhode Island in their U.S. Open Cup debut. That game will be at Rhode Island. That will be interesting. Long ball and sailed way over the goal at the south end. So it'll be a Hartford goal kick.
Not the best decision there by Birmingham.
Shots 11-7 in Hartford's favor. Shots on target 5-1. And that one was the Siaha save on Hernandez Foster on a 22-yard direct from right in front of the goal that got Hartford even into the locker room even, when with a lesser goalie, they could have been down a goal. That's the one thing Brendan Burke says. Siaha, every game, will give you a tremendous save. Well, that was his only save of this game, but it was tremendous.
That's what you expect, and you want in your goalkeeper is make the save when you need it, keep your team in the game.
Somebody in the stands, the ball went into the stands on our side, and Thiago Suarez went over to get it, and the fan threw it to some other Birmingham player on the field. That's the home field advantage.
That's the home field advantage.
You got to capitalize on that. Here's Tregarthen. Tries to change direction, taken away. Obalola has done a nice job since he's come in at the midfield for Justin Ingram. Now Hernandez Foster trying to create. Here's the teenager, Hamoda. He's not even old enough to drive. He's 16. Roof calling for it, gets it. Jake Roof plays it right to Enzo Martinez. Into the box. There's Farrell dominating over Damas. Ball is free. Boy, that was almost a handball on Hartford in the box on Jordan Scarlett. Samadia stop and goes, dribbles up the near touch line, but dribbles it out. We must be about 3 minutes into stoppage time. Looked like the referee handed out a yellow card there. Brendan Burke waving his hands to his defense. Here's Tregarthen, tries to send it in, advertently kicked back to Siaha, who dives on it. And lays prone on the ground. Anthony Siaha, career-wise, 9, 24, and 12. So Samadia got a yellow, probably for delay, I would think.
That's it.
And that is it. We have reached full time, and for the first time this year, it is a Hartford victory. Hartford made the DeShane Beckford goal stand up, and really, Jim, when you look at this performance for Hartford, so much of the credit goes to the three center backs, Scarlett, Farrell, and Prestis, and the wings, Samadia and Anderson. They all played extremely well.
Well, based upon Coach Burke's game plan, when we spoke to him on Thursday, was executed to perfection. And then you have to give Siaha credit. He had a solid game in goal. He made, the most important save, and the difference was him, because goalkeeper error created the goal for Hartford.
And for Hartford, a positive, you got a full 90 plus from Samuel Carriaga.
And he was brilliant. He was, in particular in the second half, super involved in the play. Really in key moments, got things going for them. And then in key moments with the lead, was able to keep possession for his team.
So Hartford gets their first result of the year. 3 points for the boys in green and blue. Deshane Beckford, the offensive hero, his goal in the 71st minute. His first goal of the season on just his third shot of the season, getting Hartford the win. Then the defense stood up. 1-0. Hartford a winner. Jim and I will be back to wrap it up next right here on ESPN Plus, MyTV9, and WTNH.com.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Central Connecticut State University. Apply today at ccsu.edu. So much to build on for Hartford with this victory. You got a goal. You got your first clean sheet of the year as the supporters liked what they saw. Samuel Carriaga played the full 90. Your defense stood up tall. You only got one yellow card, and that was for delay. Really, from Hartford, a lot for Brendan Burke to build on as we look at the final stats. Shots favored Hartford. That one shot on target for Birmingham just before halftime. Save of the game by Anthony Siaha.
The other one, the other player I think was a bit unsung as well is Justin Ingram. Coming into the team with a 25-day contract, getting his first start, having trained with the team a very short period of time was very effective in his minutes on the field.
All right, Jägermeister Cup play begins next week, and the Portland Hearts of Pine, who beat Hartford in the U.S. Open Cup, will be here next Saturday at 4 o'clock. It's Hawaiian Day. Be one of the first 2,000 fans and get a free lay. And stick around after the game for a special post-game autograph session with the team. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at hartfordathletic.com. Jim, great job. Thanks for sitting in. Good luck at Mitchell this year.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. For our producer, Sir Thomas of Stanwick, our director, the inimitable Bobby Kaplan, and my broadcast partner, Jim O'Brien.